Five, four, three, two, one. Good evening and welcome to Showtime TV. I'm your host, Omar Rashada. Sorry for the delay. We was trying to get everybody on, and we still might have more people coming on, but God's on our side. He's not going to stop us. I got some extraordinary guests this evening. We're talking about, you probably heard it, everybody heard about it. It's called Northside For Life. They be up on 24th and Market every Saturday, and they're doing some wonderful things in the community. So what I want to do, I want to start off by just having everybody just introduce themselves. Just say who you are and what part of Northside did you grow up on. For example, for myself, I grew up on 25th and Jefferson. Most of my life, 25th and Carter, then moved back and forth with my mom. So 25th and Carter Street and 25th and Jefferson. So Northside all the way. All right. So let's start off with Big Trav. Trav, you got it. Go ahead, do your thing, man.
Yes, sir. My name's Travis Bowers. I was born and raised in Wilmington, Delaware on the north side, 2509 North Madison Street.
All right. Okay. Okay. Stacy.
Hi, I'm Stacy Wyatt Adams. I was born and raised in Delaware on Concord Avenue, Concord and Van Buren, 618.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. William.
Can you hear me okay, sir?
Yep. You're good.
All right, my name is William, AKA Billy Lewis. I lived on 26th, 29th, and 31st in West Street.
Okay.
Born and raised at Wilmington General Hospital back in the day.
Oh, okay. All right. Kenneth.
My name is Kenneth, aka Popeye. I'm from Riverside.
Okay. All right. All right. Riverside Bucket 26. That's all good. That's still north side. Still north side. All right.
Right.
All right. All right. Samara.
My name is Samara Dunham. I lived on 25th and Madison. Been there since 1978.
Yo, Kenneth.
All right. There you go. There you go. All right. All right. Big Key. He's in the hospital, but he's still here. God got him. Man of God.
Right.
I was born in Wilmington General. 1974, I moved on the north side. 1974, 1973. Then I moved over the east side. Then I moved back over the north side in 1982 on 29th and Jefferson Street.
There you go. There you go. Okay, Boyd, are you there? Can you hear us, Boyd? Yeah, I think Boyd is on mute, so I know he's in the hospital visiting his loved one, so he may come off and on, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to start with the Keeb and there you go, Boyd. Boyd, you on? I thought I came on. All right. So you on, Boyd?
Yeah, I'm on here. I
Okay,
can't get my video working.
Okay, that's all right though. So we just having everybody introduce themselves and just tell everybody what part of our north side were you raised at.
My name is Ronald Hamlin. I was born at Delaware Memorial Hospital in 1969. I was born on East Lawn, 35th Street. I moved to 23rd Street after that, and then we moved away to Jersey. But I revisited every summer at 608 East 23rd, 722 East 22nd. My father and my grandmother moved back in 84 at 108 West 25th Street. And I've lived everywhere since then on the north side of Wilmington.
All right.
I'm 53 years old and I'm from the north side.
There you go. All right. So Big Keeb and Samal, I'm assuming that you two are one of the first original brothers who originated Northside For Life. So I want to ask you too, how did this come about? Who came up with the idea to talk about the concept of how Northside For Life came about?
Go ahead, Keith.
I was going to tell you go ahead because it's up to me. Samai, to me, is, I always tell Samai all the time that this is his baby. You know what I'm saying? The coin phrase Northside For Life is Myers' baby. He's been saying it ever since I can remember. You know what I mean? So I just figured that, you know what I mean, with that being coined and with such influence that the brother got in our community, that he needed to do something with it. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I was just the push behind this brother, like the wind behind the sails, to basically push him in the right direction, because the brother is already in the right direction. He don't know, but it's like his first time, you know what I mean, testing the waters. I've been in the waters for a while. But when you talking about Northside For Life, you ain't no way in the world you can get around it without saying somebody done them. You know what I'm saying? And basically conversing with this brother from the gate, discussing some things like, yo, man, this could be done on the side, this could be done. And people always say great minds think alike. So, and to me, Samar and Trevor always tell you, I call him my big little brother, because even though I might be older than him in age, he's bigger than me in stature, and he carries a lot of wisdom. Even when we was younger, when we was about 12 or 14 years old, Samar always took the lead, you know what I mean? So I thought it was perfect to basically show the brother the ropes, how to get down, and something that once he got down, then he was going to go off and run himself. And to me, conversing with him back and forth, and the Northside For Life was already birthed. It just needed a little wind to push it. That's how I see it, basically.
Right. Samar, you got anything to add with that?
No, not really. Exactly how he said it, exactly how it happened. He got behind me, not behind me, we joined together in a conversation. And we already was day one friends. I was 12, he was 14. We took it from there. We always got along real good. We had the same frame of mind. We was into the same things with big hearts, you know, giving to people, trying to help the community and stuff like that.
Right.
So once he came in and gave me some wisdom and the guidelines, it just took off from there. So he was the push that I needed. You know what I mean? I was the push that he needed. So we worked among each other, Batman and Batman.
Right. So I want to ask the others, Will, Travis, Stacy, Kenneth, and Boyd. How did you get involved with the Northside For Life movement? Did you? And I say a movement because this is a movement. It's, you know, started off with selling T-shirts, and y'all got some lot of things y'all doing in the community, which we'll talk about later. But I want to ask each one of you, what made you want to, you know, get the motivation to join this movement? So whoever wants to go first, they can. So open it up.
Well, I joined because I had got I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw Northside For Life. So it intrigued my interest. So I went on there, and then I think I commented on something. Then I ended up in a meeting, and next thing you know, I was on a committee.
Oh,
and
wow.
and you know, I like to help others. So anything I could do to help somebody else makes my heart smile. So that's why I joined.
Awesome. Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go next, Mr. Rashad. Me and Samar, we've been knowing each other now for like 43 years, I think. I was the first one he met when he first got here. And Mar, since we was little, used to always get on me. I used to get in and out of trouble. So like, you know, I wanted to change myself around, and Key was a big motivation for me because Key turned his life around. And I used to always be amazed at Key's size. I wasn't as gifted as Key was in size at that time. And so when I got out of jail and I seen how big Key was and doing the right thing, I was like, you know, I want to do the right thing too. So when this came about, man, it gave me a stage to kind of like show that I'm more than just, you know, the next thug or the next drug dealer or whatever the case be. It was a positive move for me to turn myself around and be an example for children and other adults to come from the areas that we all come from, incarceration, ghettos, and stuff like that, to actually show that we can change ourselves, we can change things. And through this movement, I really do believe that we can break the narrative and change it, and for a positive reason.
Awesome. Stacy?
How I came along with Northside For Life, like I left Northside, and went to Philadelphia to help people So when I talk to Maya periodically, and we used to always talk about having something for everybody to get together and stuff like that, and it never happened. So when it came up on Northside for Life up on Facebook, I was like, okay, I'm with it. If I can help people here in Philly, I would definitely go back to where I came from to help people.
Awesome, awesome. Boyd, are you there? Boyd, Ron?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. What made you what motivated you and wanted to join the movement of Northside for Life?
Well, I was strolling through Facebook one day and I seen Keeve and talking about a meeting for the Northside for Life, and I showed up to see what it was about. And when I got to 30th Street Park and I seen Samira and Keeve and everybody else that was there that I kind of grew up with, or either, ran across each other as we were coming up, I wanted to be a part of it because, a lot of people who know me know that I caused a lot of havoc in this city. And, why not be a part of something positive and give back to the community? And I just wanted to be a vision of hope for some of the people that's coming underneath of us to know that people can change and people can do positive stuff. And that's what we're about, doing something positive for the community. Just trying our best to do something different because you see what's going on in our city.
Right.
And we just want to make some changes, man. And, we started off small. And I don't think any of us thought that it would get to the point that it is now. But God is in the blessing business, and it's blowing up to be something, and ain't no stopping us now. We just gonna keep going and continue to move forward. If I just help and save one individual, I know I did my job. And I believe that the only way to keep what you have is by giving it away. And the only way the blessings keep coming is if you pass them on. And a lot of us in this group are blessed to survive a lot of what we survived, and to still be here today and be a vision for the people, the younger generation coming behind us. So, I joined to try to help make a difference and, let people know that people do change and life does get better.
Exactly. Okay, William, so what motivated you and wanted to join the movement of Northside for Life?
First, I just would like for everybody just to really clear their heart and their mind real quick, because I know we're trying to handle some business right now, but I'm looking at a very strong brother who don't look like I normally how I see him. And I want everyone to clear their mind, and I want all of us to just bow your head for a moment and just close your eyes and just ask that whatever it is going on in this brother's body, God, we ask that right now that we touch and agree that you heal, you deliver, you set free, you take the enemy of sickness, you take the enemy of disease, you take the enemy of defeat, and anything that is touching this brother who was trying to do a movement and trying to do the right thing for the right reasons. We ask that you help him, heal him, touch him. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir. I wasn't the popular dude. I just had a wonderful childhood. We're gonna say that coming up on the north side. And give me 1 minute. I'll take the mouse though. Thank you. So I know pretty much everybody on the board at one point in time. I could remember, let me tell you a quick story about Samaya.
Okay.
When we would be hungry, right? Samaya would cook applesauce, cornbread, and put applesauce in it. I remember that, Maya. And that was a meal. That was our meal. It was cornbread with applesauce, and that was the days that we came from, and DJing and speakers and all those things. And we had a lot of advantages that the kids and the youth in the city, it just ain't even there anymore. So when I heard about something positive and a way to give back, and rather it's your time or it's your money or whatever it is you can do to help give back and be part of this, I immediately jumped on board, and whatever way this committee can utilize me in, I'm on board. and I'm for the cause. And I'm just grateful to be a tag along.
So Samara, like I said, when I first saw y'all on Big Keep shows the videos a lot, you were selling mostly T-shirts. You got some other stuff now that you guys are selling. What else are you selling outside of T-shirts?
We have T-shirts, we have tank tops, we have dad hats, visors, bucket hats. That's pretty much about it as of right now. We'll be moving into some more soon.
Okay, now don't forget the wristbands, right? They said the wristbands make you dance. That was the Big Keep
Ability to
said.
make the dance.
No, that's
That's
Bill that coined that
that's
phrase.
well, okay. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Big Keep, I was really impressed one day when I saw the video of you showing the Northside for Life movement, cooking food for the community. I mean, you was on that grill, man. You was tearing them hot dogs up, them hamburgers up, man. You had the community smell. You had people waiting from Riverside coming up and getting meals. But just talk about the significance of feeding the community. That is so beautiful. You don't see that every day because our people, with the inflation that's going on in America, food's going up, gas is going up, and the people are hungry. People are looking for food baskets. People need as much support as they can. And for the Northside for Life movement to come to feed the community, man, that was so beautiful. How did that concept come up?
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you, man, it takes a village to raise a child. It took a committee to come up with it. All of us sat down, man. We came up with things that we could do, how we could get the food, what budget it would come from. Sitting down with Samaya, Trav, Boy, Pie, who made baked beans with kibasi and pineapples. Bill, who just does what he does, and Boy doing what he does, Trav doing what he do, Derek Money, can't forget the girls, Tasha and Terry. And if I'm missing anybody, charge it to my head, not my heart. I just love the grill, as you know, Omar. Like I always said, I said on your show before, bro, you contributed when it was down in Riverside cooking. And if you talk about feeding the community, that makes my heart smile. Like Sister Pie said to Stacy, giving back, like Boy said, and thinking, all on the same page. We all came up with it. It was no one big chief and a little big eyes and little U's, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is I could tell them get back off that grill because that's my thing. So that's why you see me on the grill like that. But they all wanted to cook, but it's just, when I get the grilling, what I mean, ain't no stopping me. But that's how that came about, so to speak.
And it was good.
Real good.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
More can go.
Another impressive thing that I saw was the neighborhood cleanup. And Travis, I think I saw you in the video where you and some of the others were cleaning. Talk about the significance of Travis and whoever else wants to chime in of keeping your community clean, just going in the neighborhood and just keeping.
You done with the greasy, but you ain't done at all. No.
Well, me, it goes back years ago. Me and Keith used to see each other all the time, and I just used to get tired of seeing a lot of trash in front of my house on Market Street when I stayed there. So I used to get up early in the morning before I had to go to work, and I would start at Brandywine Bridge, clean up the one side going all the way up to 31st and Market Street, then come all the way back down on the other side by myself with a trash can. On the other side, all the way back down to Brandywine Bridge, just cleaning up trash in alleyways by myself. And in the midst of me doing that, I would see Keith sitting outside on 23rd and Market Street, and we sit there early in the morning and just talk about how we want to get things together and clean up this community. So when we had the community cleanup, Myra threw it in my hands, and Keith, and kind of like, I took an honor with that, and we came together and started doing community cleanups. And I take real pride in that and cleaning up my community, and they know that.
Awesome.
Let me jump in there.
Yeah, sure.
Keith basically threw it in Trav's hands. Keith said, I used to watch the brothers every morning out here picking up paper up and down 23rd Street. So Travis was the best guy to headline that activity there. So Keith kind of threw it in his hand more than I did.
Okay.
And you know what? Before we go any further,
no, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
One thing about this group, right? We're gonna pass the rock. You know what I'm saying? I might get 15 rebounds one night. I might score 2 points. I got 15 rebounds. I got 10 assists. That means somebody else is scoring. Like I said earlier, man, it's very big. And me and Samara, we rap all the time about not trying. We don't need no superstars. And
Okay.
Samara said it to me. I'm gonna say it on so book. Samara said, "I'm gonna sit you down. I'm gonna sit you down real quick if you trying to be superstar and all like that." So the thing about it is, man, great leaders, man, they always. I don't want to say create great leaders because it's already in them. Paul said, I think it was Timothy, he said, stir up the gift that's already in you. And that's what we do. We see gifts in others and we stir up whatever your strength is, man. And you're only as strong as your weakest link. I think over here, we kind of tight on the north side.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
Definitely, definitely. You know what you brothers are doing, and sisters are doing. You're entrepreneurs in the community. You have a business on 24th and Market. You're selling clothes, and the money that's going to you is staying in the community. You're having African Americans supporting African American business. I think it's very significant because you look at the Market Street Strip, maybe from 20th all the way down to maybe 40th. It's an African American community, but majority of the businesses, I can't really say these are African Americans, and they're those from outside the community. So, and it got to me thinking as I was preparing for the show, I was thinking about African American businesses on the north side that were very successful. For example, right diagonally across the street from where you guys are selling your T-shirts was Ernie's Barbershop, which is a classic in the community.
Yes.
Man, and you look at I think 30th and Market. It was a place called Fish and Chips, which was some
Yep,
awesome.
fish and chicken.
Your fish and chicken, okay. On the corner of Vanderbilt Avenue and Pine, you had Walsh Chicken. So if anyone, William, Ronald, Kenneth, Stacy, anyone want to talk about, if you could talk about the significance of African Americans supporting African American businesses in our communities, and what businesses in the North Side did you come to admire? Anybody?
Well, I would like to touch on that.
Okay, Ron.
What I would like to say about that is you know, Black Store, 23rd and Pine Street back in the day. You know, 24th Street, right at the store across the street where we set up, was owned by a brother named Pud. Me and Keeb used to be in there on a regular as children playing pinball. And when you spoke on, you know, the African American businesses, I just want to let the community know that we doing what we do for our community. And every dime that they spend with us is going back into the community. You know, we don't benefit from none of this. Every dime that we get from the Northside For Life movement goes back into our community. And I think that, you know, the community is really supporting us well. You know, and what you talked about, brother, was truly, it needs to be talked about, because we will support, you know, and like you said, you got to be careful how you say it, but we will support but won't support each other. And it's time for us to start supporting each other and give back to the communities we grew up in, you know, because I grew up in that era. The Chinese store on 24th Street was a record shop. I got my hair cut at Ernie's Barbershop every week. You know, Puz, like I said, 24th Street, the store that we set up across from was owned by a brother named Pud. You know, I could go on and on, fish and chicken, like all of that, man. I grew up in that era and seen that my whole life.
Right.
So, you know, you just made a very good point.
As soon as I hear from them, I'll let you know.
Anyone else want to go?
Yeah, I can recall my dad having a business back in the day when we was all younger, Delaware Valley Janitorial Service. My dad, Randy Bowers. And at that time, being a young black man, I didn't really, I guess you could say I didn't appreciate it then. You know, and I think a lot of people, you know, probably didn't really appreciate it being a lot of black businesses there until now that we see that, damn, we done lost all the black businesses. And now here we are older. How do we get that back? So, you know, I look at all the top of the town. My dad used to clean up that for $2 an hour.
Yeah,
Back on 30th and Market Street. With,
yes, it was.
You know, so like I remember those times. I remember when I would go back to where it wasn't even no blacks on Market Street. You know, So like to be older now, to know and appreciate when I see a black business, I do support it. Like I'd be like, wow, that's a black business. And I don't even what the only black businesses I know that we have there now is I think Jamaica restaurant we have a couple of those.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it. I think we have a one barber shop on Market Street now.
On 20th.
Okay. Well, two then, because you got Eric Saunders barbershop.
Yeah.
But you know, like we can I just think that as time goes on, that now that we appreciate what it is to have a black business, that we can actually do more things if we put our minds to it and support the black businesses that's there and also grow, you know, and get some appreciation to have that kind of business in our communities again.
Hey, Will, did you want to touch on? I'm sorry, somebody else want to go before?
No, I was just going to say, I do believe we duty bound to make the community aware and conscious of bringing that black business back to our community. You know what I mean? As I was with an organization called Nehemiah's Brick City, one brick at a time. First, we got to let the people see us, because I believe in demonstration, participation by observation. And once they see us, then we can shake and awaken their consciousness. Now it's time for us to start talking about black businesses, like you just brought up, Brother O. And once we make the community aware of that and make them take a look and examine, because it's right in front of them, it's right under their noses. If you look up and down Market Street, we own nothing. So now it's our job to start making the community conscious of that. And once we get them conscious of that, then we can start, black entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? And I think it'd be real easy now, because I've been pushing this for a while, but never on a platform such as Northside For Life. You know what I'm saying? It was like I was a one man with a bugle in my hand blowing the horn. And you know what I mean? Everybody was like, okay. But now you bring some strong brothers on this platform like Bill, Samaya, Boyd, Trav, Pop, Stacy, Shaft. You know, you got some weight on this joint now. So now it's going to be a lot easier to wake up this conscious community of blackness. And that's what we want to take it back to. And listen, I'm pro-black. I ain't anti-white, but I am pro-black. And that's what we need to push. And that's what we're going to wake them up. We're going to wake them up.
Definitely. Will, do you want to add something to that about African-American business in our communities?
I mean, I really can't top of what anybody else said, but I mean, we did come up in that era. I had Miss Jessie and Miss Wilson's corner store was down the street for me, because I'll never forget Sparkle, because I thought I was gonna marry her, but and I remember you could go to the store with the note and you could get a loaf of bread or a pack of bologna until your grandmama or somebody got paid. And it's not like that anymore, man. We live in a very rough and cruel world, and we may never get back to those days. But what little bit we can do to give the younger generation coming up behind us, with a little bit of hope that we can give them, or at least give them a boost to show them that it is possible.
I need you to take this necklace off of me.
That's what I would like to do.
Now, I'm thinking about this movement once again. This movement was, I guess you could say, co-founded by Big Keeb and Samara. When we look at the history of African American movements, for example, like the Black Panther Party, Bobby Seals and Huey Newton, for those who growing up watched Eyes of the Prize, we saw that. And there's so many, the civil rights movement. You know, one of the things that's very significant about those movements, in addition to the Million Man March, I remember going to the Million Man March, and although it was a march for Black men, there were women who helped organize it, who helped get brothers registered. We was on Miller Road, the shopping center. They was giving us lunch, and it's very significant that we talk about the role of the female when it comes to movement. So, like I said, Big Keeb and Samal, you plant the seed, but when I look at the videos, I see females organizing the shirts, organizing the tables. I saw Big Keeb show two females who were modeling the Northside For Life summer suit. I saw females serving food when you were serving the community. So Stacy and the Connect, or if anyone else want to chime in, just talk about the significance of the females, you know, supporting their brothers. Because a lot of times when we talk about movements of leaders, we focus on the men, but sometimes we forget about the support that the females give to those men, so those men can be where they are today. So anyone want to chime in and on that, they can. Oh man, is it too deep?
I say something. I say something right quick then because I do believe that the sisters don't get enough credit in any type of movement. You know what I mean? Even the preachers, the first lady, she's looked at as the person, you know, just be quiet, sit there in the chair next to the preacher, or it's a strong woman behind the man. But and how we get down, we don't get down like that. You know what I mean? We got sisters on the front line throwing blows just like a brother. And with me, it's like many hands lighting the load. And if we go on a rumble and we got 5 people, that means we got 10 fists flying. I don't care if we got 30, we can chop down them numbers if we got everybody's hand in there. And Sister Tasha, Sister Terry, and we don't want to forget the young little lady, Samar,
Yeah,
young
yes,
little new member.
yes,
We
yes.
talking about ladies and Sister Pie and Sister Stacy. And I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna pass the mic. Sister Pie will chop your head off. So if you think that sister, man, listen, she shook me up. I believe she shook every man up in the movement. You hear me?
Hey, Keith,
Sister
I think
Pie
nobody can
is a
shake you
joke.
up, Big Keith. Somebody shook you up, Big Keith. What?
Man, listen, bro. She had me like, I said, yo, I said, she got smile one time. I said, okay.
Okay.
But the thing about it is, the sister, if you look at her heart, man, you just got to be like, listen, you got to take that on the chin because you know she wants to win. And I'm telling you, you can hear it in her voice. And I do believe Sister Pie is dealing with some type of body ailment. I might be in the hospital like for a second, but Pie is dealing with this every day. Let's not forget about that, Pie. Let's not forget about that.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so Sister Pie, you want to add on the significance of females being in the movement or leading the organization or whatever comment you want to say, you and Stacy?
No, I mean, I'm just glad that we could be a part of it. Like I said, I'm making helping people makes my heart smile. So anything I can ever do for anybody, I'm there. I'm definitely down to do it.
Mm-hmm. All right, Stacy, you still on? Somebody took a little break. Okay. All right, so we'll go on to the next topic, the next question. Ron said something significant about the youth. You know, growing up on the north side, I used to go to H. Fletcher Brown Boys Club. You also had Kiwanis Girls Club. You had Kingswood Community Center, Riverside Bucket 26. Today, you still have those organizations, I believe, and you also have the Powell Center on 37th and Market. So if anyone wants to speak on significance of being there for the young people, being mentors. I think someone mentioned earlier about being mentors for the young people. Someone mentioned that we had mentors growing up. And so now, I mean, any one of you gentlemen, I can see you as a mentor for the young people and living the right life, making the right decisions. So does anyone want to chime in on the significance of just being a mentor for the youth with the Northside movement? Samara, you want to go?
That's what I was going to say before we go further. Oh
Okay.
no, I was going to say Samaya because
Okay.
you know with the joint up to the park and then the young lady.
Okay.
Go ahead, Samaya.
Okay, sure.
Basically what we're trying to do and pushing forward, get a hold of these kids, you know, age 5 or 13, or any kid, it doesn't really matter. Give them some guidance in life, you know what I mean? Give them some understanding of some things. A lot of things that we had growing up in our time that's missing today. Along with that being said, it's open to any child that needs, you know, a little love, a little understanding, a little compassion, you know what I mean? Anything that it takes to give to these kids, that's what we all want to do. I reached out to a couple, you know, committee brothers and sisters, and for this one young lady that kind of touched my heart, she's now the youngest member of Northside For Life. She's
Okay.
8 years old, and the way that everybody came together for this lady was just love. It was just no hesitation. It wasn't no what ifs. It was like it had to be done. It was a mission that was, you know, necessary at the time. And we're gonna be pushing forward to anything we can do with any of these youths out here. Anything.
All right. Awesome. Anyone else? All right. So I want to ask you all, who are your mentors? You know, growing up in the North Side, who are some of the men and women that was mentors to you, were role models to you to help you be the adult that you are today? Even though some of us might be a little hard-headed, but they stayed with us and they made sure that we was okay. So was there anyone in the North Side, any leaders, local leaders or teachers that were there for you to help groom you to be the individual that you are today? Anyone?
Well, my father was a good mentor for me growing up, even though, like you said, I was very hard-headed. I was very hard-headed, and I didn't understand then what I understand now. But along my path of incarceration, addiction, and everything like that, it was some older guys I would take, like Lester Mathis. I knew he was involved with gangs. I knew he was tough, but for some reason, like he always didn't want me to get involved. You know, he wanted to try to fly me straight. And he passed on us, and he's from Northside. And rest in peace to Lester Mathis, known as Run. You know, and to be honest, Meyer wasn't a man, but Meyer had joined the gang. I can recall Meyer at an early age. I think Meyer was like 13, I was 14. Meyer said, "Yo, Travis, you don't need that, man. You don't need to be with them." So like he wasn't a man, but Meyer was a man before he was a man, you know.
Right, right.
But he was a mentor as well for me growing up. And he still do the same thing now. Like I don't even do nothing wrong, I don't think. But Meyer found a reason to be like, "Yo, Trav, nah, so he hard on me, man."
Right.
But I had some good mentors, man. Like when I got in prison, man, the older guys like Alan Brooks and Ty Air, them guys, man, for some reason they didn't want me to be in there fighting. They were like, "Man, go home, go home." And they had lifers, you know. So a lot of them guys helped me along the way. And then when I got out, I would see guys who've been in there doing good things. Like Keeb is one of them. You know, we're like around the same age. But when I heard Keeb change his life around, I was like, whoa, Keeb? Like, man, you got to see Keeb, man. He got arms size of bowling ball. I said, Keeb? Man, he all about God. I like, Keeb? Yeah, man, Keeb don't smoke weed no more. I'm like, what? Get out of here. But when I seen him, all me and Keith talk about is God and righteousness. And every time we talk to each other, we always say to each other, "Still sharp and still."
Yeah.
So that has been my motivation, man, and the motivators for me coming along the way.
Awesome. Someone else want to say something?
You know, go ahead, Bill.
You sure? Was that
Yeah.
Ron J said something? But all right, well, for me, coming up on the north side, Mr. Congo. And I don't say that just because he's been very gratuitous to us and as far as the Legacy Center and things like that. But he was a mentor to me long ago when I struggled out there in those streets with drug and alcohol addiction. I worked for Sammy for many years, and that man must have fired me. I don't know how many times. He had fired me at midnight and be at my house at 6 a.m. to have me get up and come back to work. He showed me how to navigate through the city of Wilmington. He also showed me how to navigate through color barriers, because he said it's always going to be the opposition, and it's bad enough that we hold each other down. The other opposition is on a whole nother level. And some of the things that he's taught me has allowed me in my professional career to get where I needed to be. And also his son. I look up to Trippy as well, because Trippy had every opportunity to be a stone cold idiot, just spoil and just do whatever he wanted to do. But he's always been a stand-up guy, and they've been a family and a pillar in the community since like forever. And they are definitely Northside. And I can't go without mentioning Mr. Ernie, who ran the barbershop, because he was always a man of integrity. Because, I mean, Ernie's could be off the hook sometimes. So how he with Cruz and all them down there and Frog and them, man. So, but he never lost his cool or anything like that. He was always very calm, cool, collective, polite man. And Mr. Cecil, who owned a liquor store next door to my house. These were some of the Black men and my father that I saw coming up, who was business owners and doing things that you don't see that much anymore of in their communities. And Mr. Milton, can't forget about Milton with the coldest beer in the city.
That's right.
Right.
You got that right. You got that part right.
Okay, so Ron, did you want to speak on someone who was a mentor for you?
Yeah. My uncle, Bob Hamlin. He was a guy, man, who he worked at the Wilmington Hospital and he stepped out on faith. I'll never forget, he told me the story of how he went to my father and his other brother and said, I'm gonna start this janitorial business, man. And neither one of them wanted to do it because both of them worked down the longshoreman, down the Port of Wilmington. They told him he was crazy and man, you better not do that. And he started his own janitorial service, man. It was called Marco Janitorial Service. And at the end, before he passed, man, he had one of the largest janitorial services in the city of Wilmington. He had every WSFS bank in the state of Delaware. He had 9, 10 buildings down the waterfront. And he would always tell me, man, to stick with the winners. He was just like the greatest guy. To me, my uncle was the guy who walked on water, man. He was always there for me. He never gave up on me. And he actually, left the business to his son. And the business is still running. I'm not going to speak bad on anybody, but it's not running the way it was when Unc was running it, but it's still running, And some of the guys in my community, man, I can't forget Mr. Thurston. Mr. Thurston was a gentleman who lived on 24th and Tatnall Street, man. I can't forget Miss Maddie. Miss Maddie, who lived between 23rd and 24th and Market Street, who would always pray with us, who would always stand up for us. Miss Maddie was a woman who, right or wrong, she would stand up for the young gentleman in her community. And when it was all said and done, she would pull you to the side and chastise you for the wrongdoing. But she was always with us, man. It's quite a few people. Listen, man, believe it or not, man, Breeze. Everybody talked about the bad that Breeze did, but Breeze always encouraged me, man, take your butt to school. Frog. Look at Frog, man. Frog was a gentleman, man, who cut hair in Ernie's barbershop, man. And Frog took us to the Spectrum every year. He used to always tell us, y'all got to see more than what just Wilmington, Delaware has to offer, man. He used to, take some young kids to the Spectrum to see concerts in a limousine, man. I don't know, man. I could go on and on, man, because there's definitely some good brothers in this city, man. And that's why I do what I do, man. Because when I was out there, it was a lot of people who would pull me up and tell me, and I just got to say this, man. A lot of people were talking about Samara, right? And Samara's younger than, but I got to say it, like Keith said, there's no big I in this group. There's no little U's in this group. There's no, there's no Chiefs and no Indians. It all depends on what day it is, who's running the show, who's shooting the ball, who's passing the ball. But I just need to give Samara his credit, man, because there was a situation and I was real angry about it. And Samara just gave me a look like, nah, bro, that ain't what we about. And we ain't gonna let that situation pull us off our square. And I just walked away and I called him later and he talked with me and he let me know that, like, listen, man, that's what the people waiting for. And we ain't doing it. We can bounce back from certain situations in our life, man. And we got to learn how to handle things. And at 53 years old, man, I still can, on any given day, revert back. And I thank God for people like Samara, who has always just said a few encouraging words and let me know that, like, yo, man, you on the right path. I'm proud of you, because my past ain't all that great. So, it's a lot of brothers, man, from this city who have influenced my life and worked with me, because it took years.
Right. I hear you. That's good. So before we close out, Northside For Life got a big major day coming up August the 6th, Saturday, 1 o'clock at Price's Park. Samar, Vicky, y'all want to talk about what's going to take place that evening or that day?
Well, I'm gonna say something real quick, and I'm
Oh,
gonna get
sure,
off.
sure. That's fine. Okay.
I'm gonna sing.
Uh-oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, wait
I'm
a
gonna
minute, wait a
sing.
minute. Who gonna sing? Keith gonna sing?
I'm gonna sing, and I'm gonna dance at night. So y'all better get y'all cameras ready. 'Cause every 1200 moon of the year of the century, Big Blowson might come on the floor, and I might bust out a tune. So get your popcorn ready. That's all I want to say. Put a little joke in there.
All right. Okay. So what's going on August the 6th?
August the 6th, the park starts at 12 to 6. Very kid friendly, security tight. We have about 3 or 4 acts coming up on stage. Keep a little surprised, but we have PD Crack, some local acts. We have the moon bouncers for the kids. We have a pickup basketball game. We have horses coming out for the kids. Face painting. Am I forgetting anything, Key?
Free
I think
food.
free food.
Oh yeah, free food. Free food. If I'm not mistaken, we have Thunder Guards coming out to let the kids get on the bike, take pictures, keep the little boys excited, stuff like that. Basically, everybody that we reached out to came through for us with love.
So let me ask you, are y'all accepting financial donations or food donations? How can the community help?
Yeah, we definitely accepting financial donations. We got a GoFundMe page that I got to post up on Facebook again
Oh, okay.
that they can donate to. And people, one thing about GoFundMe I like is the transparency. You can see where your money is going. Not only can you see where your money is going on GoFundMe, but we're going to show you where your money is going the day of the event. And for some people like you, you're very observant. You've seen some of the things that we've been doing in the community, cleaning up and giving back, feeding and stuff like that. So you can track your money down to where your donation where it's going at. And also we sell T-shirts on 24th and Market Street on Saturdays from like 12 until we basically get tired. And you can donate. I would like for people to donate water and juice right now because we can store that very easily. So if you could drop off water and juice up at 24th and Market Street for now, and then as we get closer to the event, you can donate hot dogs, hamburgers, and like you said before, you can give your monetary donation. Monetary donations allow us to maneuver the money at the right time because we don't have the capacity to hold frozen food in certain areas. You know what I'm saying? So
All right, gotcha.
we have to wait leading up into the event. You know what I'm saying? So all that plays a part, and nothing's too small and nothing's too big.
Okay. So I want to give everybody a minute to say any closing comments. We can start off with the Sister Connect. You want to have any words of closing?
I just want to say to everybody who's listening, come out and support us. It'd be worth your while.
Okay. Ron? I know. We'll go back to Ron. Okay, Trav, you want to any closing comments?
Just want to let them know that Northside For Life is definitely the brand that gives back.
All right. Will?
I just want to thank you, my brother. I don't know if I ever met you, but thank you for giving us a platform to expose what we're doing, and thank these 2 brothers who have allowed me to use me as well to help to support what we're doing, and to anybody and everybody who was behind the movement, and that's either now or soon to be, know that it is definitely positive, it's real, and it's definitely 100% transparent. I can assure you that these brothers is doing this from the heart. And as Maya would say, it's done with love, and it started with love, and it's going to end with love. So with that, love is love. And thank you all very much.
Okay, Ron, you back on? You have any closing comments? Any words of encouragement for about a minute?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, brother, for allowing us to use your platform.
Oh, no problem at all.
I agree.
And we are definitely grateful for that. And I don't got a whole lot more to say, man. I'm a firm believer in, there's a rap song that says, walk it like you talk it. Show it in the way that you live.
All right.
So that's where I'm at, brother. I'm just grateful to be a part of this. I thank God for blessing all of us. I thank God for blessing you and putting you in position to bless us. And we
Yes,
just
sir.
gonna keep moving, man. We just gonna keep moving. Ain't no stopping us. This is just the beginning. Y'all ain't ready for what we have in store. And guess what? We don't even know, but we know it's coming.
Right.
Love is love.
All right. Big Keith.
Man, the brand that builds the community. Love is love, the brand that builds the community.
I like that.
All right, Samar, you can close us out.
All right, I just want to say, everybody come out this Saturday, get your free bands for the Congo Center. Again, free bands. Come on out August the 6th, the day event, night event. Anytime Northside For Life is on top of something, everything is always free. Thank y'all. Love is love. God bless.
All right, gentlemen, thank you all for coming on. I'm going to stop by one day and give you a financial donation. I support your cause and keep doing what you're doing. And so, Big Keith, if you want to do a part 2 sometime in the future, just let me know. We'll get things together. I know we're supposed to have a lot more people on, but unfortunately, technical difficulties. But God's blessed us to have the ones who did come on. So, you guys keep doing what you're doing. All right. So, everybody else, please like, subscribe, and share. All right, gentlemen, have a safe week. Stay safe.
All right. Thank you,
Good
sir.
night.
Love.
Thank you.
God bless.
Bless you too.